And good morning. It's time now for the Community Profile on WLON, WOHS, and WCSL. And a special Community Profile today. This is Milton Baker along with Sandy Alexander, the co-host, executive producer. Hey, Sandy.
Hey, Milton.
Did you bring your snow gear?
No,
just in case?
I ain't yet.
Well, the sun's trying to come out now, but maybe later on this evening we might see a flake or two, and later on tomorrow. That's right. Well, they are calling for a rather maybe big snow in this area, and got a lot of people talking about snow and snows of the past. And last night, talked to Darrell Harkey, who's our guest today. Hey, Darrell.
Good morning. Good morning, Miss Sandy and Milton.
I got to talking to you. I got to talking to Sandy last night. I said, let's call Darrell. We had a no program today, and I said, let's talk to Darrell. I'm saying, if anybody could tell you about some of the big snows in the area in the past, Darrell could. We asked Tommy Richardson, our weatherman in the morning, to join in, but he had a prior commitment at this time. So you talked to Tommy, jotted down a few notes, and then we're going to open the phone lines to any listeners who want to, tell their recollections of especially big snows or timely snows that happened at some time in their life, maybe on a birthday or a church event at Christmas time or whatever. But Darrell, there have been some rather, large snows in the area. I don't know that we've ever had what you call a blizzard, but at times we have in the past felt like we were in a blizzard.
Yeah, the wind's blowing. But I think to qualify for a blizzard, I think it has to be like 30 or 40 mile an hour winds and snowing to actually qualify for like a hurricane is 75 or more miles per hour wind.
Well, the one weather event in Sandy, you might be too young to remember the 1963 Wednesday snows. You'd have been pretty little.
I was in elementary school.
Okay. Do you remember much about those three?
I remember hearing about it, and matter of fact, Tommy brought my attention to it this morning. Every third, for 3 Wednesdays in a row, it snowed. Yeah. And he brought that to my attention, and like 6 to 8 inches, and that was in 1960.
Yeah. So Darrell, you're a little bit older than Tommy. You remember it pretty well, the 3 Wednesday snow. So it was the winter of 1960. Was it in March?
1960 March. It might have been one in February and 2 in March, but it flurried, and we thought we were going to have another one. It was another on Wednesday. It flurried, but I don't think it never had any accumulation. But one of them was actually 12 or 13 inches. Yeah. And depending on where you were, it varied. It might vary 3 or 4 inches from one end of the county and actually from one side of town to the other.
Yeah. It, I guess probably school was out for for quite some time. It seemed like one of my brothers was talking about every time they would think they were going to get ready to go back to school, it would snow again. Right.
That was the year I graduated, and we were out of school quite a bit. And I remember they made an announcement, and at the end of the snow, they said, "These days that we missed will have to be made up." And we made a decision that we'll make up some of these days next year. We graduated on June 1st.
Oh, okay.
So that just tickled us, that we're going to make up those snow days.
But
next.
You didn't guys have to go back.
Yeah, we were graduating.
So that's good. That's good. It didn't make you come back. Oh man, I tell you, the snow we had a couple of weeks ago in the middle of the week, was it a Tuesday and a Wednesday kind of deal? I mean, that was only an inch of snow, but that was a mad snow because it disrupted our lives so much because the roads got so bad with just that little bitty inch of snow because of the way that snow packed, or it was so cold when it did snow. We really had a time with an inch and a fraction of snow there.
And you remember we talked to Krista Miranda, who's originally from New York, and people in Colorado. They get so much of it that therefore they've got the appropriate equipment that they just, life carries on. They don't pay any attention. They get out there, do their thing, and go on. unfortunately, and we do what we can with the salt and the scraping and everything. Our state does as best they can with the equipment we have, but it just kind of paralyzes us.
Well, yeah, it was. I think it was just a lot to do with the type snow. That Darrell, that was a powdery snow that didn't even. A lot of our snows at night when it gets cold and freezes over, it crust over. That snow didn't form the crust.
Mm-hmm.
It was still powdery the next day and the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially if you get a little sheet of ice, it doesn't take an eighth of an inch of ice, and you're all over. There's four-wheel drives are no good.
And now we're talking about the snow that's coming up and recollections of past snows. We'd like to hear from our listeners on any comments you'd like to make about memories of snows past, anything that stands out to you about a certain one in your lifetime, or something you've heard. Like I say, the 3 Wednesday snows. I wasn't even born yet, but I've heard all about them. Here's your forecast. Here is the latest. Let me make sure it's refreshed and is the latest. This is the latest forecast. This is the National Weather Service. Now, there's hundreds probably of different forecasts. Chance of rain today. Chance of snow a little bit tonight. No accumulation expected. Chance of snow Tuesday, and that's about a 50% chance. High of 37. Tuesday night, a chance of snow. Low of 27. And then the winds gust to 18 miles per hour Tuesday night. Chance of snow Tuesday night is 50%. Wednesday, snow likely before 2 p.m. Then snow and sleet. High of 29 only on Wednesday. Accumulation 2 to 4 inches possible. Wind gust as high as 22 miles an hour Wednesday, so that is going to make it even worse on us. And then Wednesday night, snow and sleet, becoming all snow after midnight, low 29. Chance of precip 80%. New snow and sleet accumulation 1 to 3 inches. And then Thursday, chance of rain and snow before 11 a.m., then a slight chance of rain 11 to 2 p.m. Believe it or not, we may see some sunshine on Thursday, and the chance of precip is 40%. So those accumulation amounts they're mentioning Wednesday 2 to 4 inches, Wednesday night 1 to 3 inches, so anywhere between 3 and 7 inches of snow there. Tuesday, less than half an inch possible, they say, on Tuesday. We could see close to 8 inches of snow.
What I remember is I went to work at high school in '88, but I still worked at the radio station. So actually, I worked 2 jobs. But I always remember we were told one word never to say at a school and a radio station.
Snow. Don't even joke about it.
Because the minute you say it at school, the parents start calling, do I need to come pick up Susie? Because it's going to snow. And then if you heard it at the radio station, they've already had us getting 19 feet once they misunderstood what you said. But, it is important. And, snow, I love to watch it fall. It's beautiful. But the ice and the danger of the power going out, and that's the thing that gets me. It's just totally paralyzing where you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, this snow we had, what day was that? A couple of weeks ago anyway. The good thing about it is it was mainly all snow. There wasn't a lot of ice or freezing rain. Now this one here, it doesn't look like it's going to be all snow. When you get that mixture of sleet and some freezing rain all thrown in there,
you get a base of ice down, and then it's very difficult, and especially when the temperature drops, that the salting of the roads, that once it passes or gets below a certain temperature, the salt doesn't do any good. Yeah,
we were talking to Tommy the other day about the real cold nights we had. We had a couple stretches there, nights down in the single digits, and Tommy mentioned, and Darrell, you and I talked about it on the phone last night. 1977, it was actually a string of days. Maybe it didn't get as cold in single digits at night, but during the day, it just hardly ever got above freezing. What can you recall about
77, 78. I had my boat dock down at Lake Norman, and the fellow that ran the boat dock called me, and several of my friends. We all had our boats were side by side, and he said, "You need to come down. The lake's frozen over." and I'm afraid the ice is going to crack the hulls on your boat. So we go down, and I get down and I find my boat is completely encrusted in solid ice, and I pick up a cement block, and I take the cement block and hold it over my head and throw it down behind my boat, and the cement block breaks. And
ice was harder than the concrete.
And my friend got a pickaxe, and he walked out behind the boat and took the pickaxe and started breaking ice, and it took several blows to even with a pick to break through the ice.
Now you're saying he actually walked on the ice.
He walked out on the ice.
Wow.
And took a lawn chair and put a dummy in it and with a fishing pole and put it out on the ice, and passerbys driving down Highway 150, it looked like someone sitting out there fishing, and but it's a guy who's a dummy with a fishing
So
pole.
that is one instance of where the lake or the bodies of water froze enough that you could walk out there, although we don't dare recommend you do that ever in this area.
No, I
It's
wouldn't
not
have gone out
not
there.
like
but,
up in the northern
but
states.
It was 3 or 4 inches, and they say that you can walk on 2 inches, and I've heard tell that you could drive on 4 inches.
Really? Yeah.
And I wouldn't try it, but
No.
that's what I've heard. A 4-inch that you can drive on. But
We've all seen some movies where the people. One that comes to my mind is the Grumpy Old Men movies where they're out there ice fishing and they drive out on the ice and
Oh, yeah.
everything. So we don't have. We think it's cold here, and it is cold. It is cold. Anybody that struggles through this time of year trying to stay warm can tell you it is cold. But in the northern areas, we couldn't cope with what they go through.
When I arrived overseas, I was in England in 62 and 63, the winter, and it was so cold, and they had sent their snow plows off. They had dismantled them because it hadn't snowed in a number of years, but the temperature really dropped. And I was working on strike team one night, and this guy said, you really want to do something dangerous? And I said, heck, I don't care. And we had 4-wheel drive Dodge pickups, those power wagons. They were brand new. And so we went out in this field, and he started doing donuts. And I said, he said, how's that? I said, well, we used to do that in parking lots back home in Lincoln. And I said, that's nothing. He said, nothing. We're on a lake. I said, oh my goodness. We were on a lake. He had driven out on a lake. It had been frozen over for about 3 or 4 weeks, and doing tailspins and donuts. I said, get me off of here.
Oh, my Lord, get you off that lake.
We got a caller. I'm not sure. I maybe they're calling to talk to us. Are you calling to make it? Nope. They're gone. They didn't want to talk to us. Anybody that does want to talk to us, 704-482-1390, 435-3297, 735-8071. Got a recollection or a comment you'd like to make about a winter storm of years past? I know I can remember my mom telling different things about, winter storms and how they dealt with them back when she was young, and my grandpa, her father, how he had to, deal with snow drifts. We used to talk about snow drifts so much. We've got old black and white photos made way back, old cars. I don't know what year these cars were, but snow piled up almost to the top of these cars. Darrell, does it seem like, or is there anything to it that it did snow more than it does now, or deeper?
Well, it comes in cycles. In the 1700s, I recall from history the winter of 1780 and 81, and the battle at Calvin's Ford, which occurred on February 1st, 1781. A night or two before, the Patriots were encamped on the bank, and it was so cold it was way below freezing. They didn't have any actual way of telling the temperature there, but it was way below freezing. The ground was frozen, and Generals Daniel Morgan and Nathaniel Greene and their 400 men were encamped there, and it was cold. They had blankets on the ground, and they got on the ground and covered up with several blankets. Well, during the night, one of them started pulling the cover off the other one, and they started fussing back and forth. And one would pull the cover, and the other one would pull the cover back and forth, and they almost got into a fight. And they both finally, the cover got pulled off, and they jumped up, and a pig had gotten between them. A pig had got under the cover, and it was a pig was pulling the cover
The pig
off
was
of him, and he was trying to get out of the cold weather.
The pig was
and
the
they
cover
almost
hauler.
fought a duel over a pig.
Oh, my gosh. We do, I think, have a caller standing by. Hello, did you want to make a comment about our program?
Sure do.
Oh, it's LD. Hey there, buddy. Hey there. What do you recall about big-time snow?
Huh?
What do you recall about it?
I remember snows in 1960.
You remember the 1960 ordeal, 3 Wednesdays in a row?
Yeah.
Yep. What do you recall?
I recall there was a lot of snow from all up in April when it buried off the side of the road and stuff, you know.
Yeah. In
It was
April?
still stacked up.
Wow.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
And I remember something, and, I was about 2 or 3 years old. Around 44, 45.
Mm-hmm.
On Christmas Eve,
1943.
Christmas Eve night.
Not 1800s, but 1900s.
Yeah, 19. Yeah. Watch it, boy. And,
You can whoop me. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
and I got my Christmas present.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a little old wooden train that you pull with a string. That was something back then.
Yeah.
I was pulling around. Everybody else was over there looking, going on. I snuck out the door and got on my back part, scooted down outside. But there was back then, there was on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, there was ice and stuff on the ground there.
Yeah. Wow. So that
They
was a
remember
bit
too many
of
Christmas days, but
pretty vivid memory for you, huh?
well, there's really not members. Well, see, my brother hadn't been born yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, appreciate you calling, Ellie. We got another caller holding on, but thanks for sharing with us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, buddy. You take care. All right. So LD has a memory there of snow and affecting his Christmas time there. Darrell, we had snow on Christmas a couple years ago, and it seemed to just everybody's always talked about white Christmases. I think they got enough of it that year. What was it, 2-3 years ago, Sandy?
Yeah, a couple years ago, and I remember us playing White Christmas, and everybody dreams that it's not Christmas unless it snows. Well, it snowed, and you never heard such fussing.
Careful what you wish for, you might get it.
We can't get out and go anywhere.
We got another caller. We lost you. Please call back. We're sorry. We lost you. Please call back. We had another caller calling in there, wanted to share something with us. So please call us back, 704-482-1390, 435-3297, 735-8071. We've talked about the big Wednesday, the big 3 Wednesdays. Let's grab this line, see if this is somebody want to be on our program. Do you want to make a comment for us?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, Dale. Hey, Dale.
Tell me something.
Yeah.
But in 1960, the weatherman was Clyde McLean on WBTV.
Yes.
And he said on the 4th Wednesday night, he said, I don't know what the weather's going to be tomorrow. He could not predict that 4th week.
Kind of gave up, huh?
But up home, up in Granite Falls, we had it 4 Wednesdays in a row. I mean, big ones.
Wow, so you were in Granite Falls at the time.
Yep.
How about that? So 4 Wednesdays in Granite Falls.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Well, see, that was the 1960 event, right?
Right.
Okay, I never heard that there was 4 Wednesdays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, Dale. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate the call. Our buddy Dale, who now lives up in the Maiden area, talking about when he was in Granite Falls in 1960. Hello there. You want to make a comment on our program?
Yes.
Okay.
I was 8 years old and living in Black Mountain, North Carolina at that time. And I remember the snows each Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And the main thing I remember is that we missed 21 consecutive days of school.
Wow.
And we had to make up our time on Saturdays.
I was going to say, how many Saturdays
Oh, man.
could you do that? 21 days?
I don't remember how many, but I thought it was fun.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So you were in Black Mountain, and where do you live now?
Lincoln.
Okay. So, are you a big snow fan still, or were you?
Yes.
Yeah, you still like to see it snow. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Thanks so much. Anything else you want to say about it?
Something else I remember too from that time. The trains were not running at that time.
Oh, really?
Because of the snow.
Oh,
There was no train travel.
No, they couldn't get through.
They couldn't.
How deep? And in Black Mountain, do you recall how deep it got those Wednesdays?
I don't remember how much snow we had. I know it was a lot.
Yeah. Pretty deep.
I also remember that on the news they were talking about food packs that were being dropped in the higher elevations of North Carolina around Burnsville area.
Wow.
Because people absolutely could not get out.
Get through. That's incredible. Isn't that something? All right. Well, thanks for sharing with us. We really appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So that didn't those 3 Wednesdays just didn't happen here, did they, Darrell?
No, it was all over.
All over the state, sound like, pretty much. All right. We got another caller here. Did you want to make a comment on our program?
Yes, sir. This is Lee Keegan in Denver.
Hey, Lee.
Remember 1960, there was 4 snows, but the 4th one was on Thursday.
It missed the Wednesday.
And it wound up with a couple inches of sleet and froze over on top.
Oh, okay. Where were you living in Denver still at the time?
Oh, yeah, I was born and raised in Denver.
Denver, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yes.
And I'm going through Newton right now, and it's snowing in Newton.
Seriously? Oh, how about that?
Half snow and half rain.
Yeah, let's check our temperature at our studios here. It can snow at this temperature. Well, it's 42 degrees here, so maybe a little cooler in Newton, but it can snow. It can snow around 40 or so degrees, 38, 40 degrees. Well, thank you, Lee. Appreciate you calling. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, so we're getting some good calls here. Appreciate
I remember it was in March of 1968, and I can vividly remember this, that I was working at the sheriff's department, and I answered the phone and said, we have a shooting over on Gastonia Road, 321. It was a house behind where Howard Construction Company is today, and in the forks of the road there was an old house. It's no longer there. And one of the other deputies, who's now deceased, came in, and I said, Clyde Johnson. I said, Clyde, there's a shooting over on Gastonia Highway. I said, you want to go with me? And the other the radio operator had gone to the bathroom, and he got back, and I said, we got a shooting. And we responded, and we got over there, and it was snowing just about so hard you couldn't see. And it was a guy laying in a ditch. He'd been shot 5 times.
Oh, my.
And we found out. We did the preliminary investigation, and we called the ambulance, and Dr. Wilson was on duty at the hospital, and Dr. Wilson said he's still living, but go ahead and draw the murder warrants. Said he's not going to make it through the night, which he didn't. He was shot, like I said, 5 times. And so we found out the guy that did it. We found out the way he had gone, and so we went back and we found the tracks in the fresh fallen snow.
Isn't that so?
And Clyde and I tracked him, and all night long we tried to follow him, but anyway we lost it several times, and we wound up behind over off of 321 behind Henry Hauser's, where Henry Hauser's garage is, near Victor Grove Church Road. Yeah. And it was gotten daylight, and we'd called back to the hospital and said the guy had died, and so we were, like I said, we were armed with murder warrants, and we finally caught the guy about 11 o'clock. And anyway, we were soaking wet, and icicles frozen in our socks, and our hair was frozen, and our faces were red as we said, old beet pickles. Yeah. And hands were frozen because we weren't prepared, for that kind of weather and being exposed that long. Yeah. But
but you tracked him through the snow.
We got it. We finally got him, and you know what? To this day, that case has never been tried.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they never tried that case. Said they couldn't find the witnesses.
Well, I'll be.
But anyway, the guy got off. He stayed. We got the guy. He stayed in jail for a while, and after a while, they finally turned him loose, and pending trial, and the trial was never called.
Oh my goodness.
Oh goodness.
That's a disappointment. Yeah. After all you went through. Got another caller on the phone. Did you call to make a comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Big D.
Hey, Big D.
His name wasn't OJ, was it?
In a Bronco? No. They tracked him. They didn't track him in a Bronco.
Okay. One year I was taking pictures for newspapers, all my life, and there was a race at Rockingham Speedway in about 1974, and I was there. We decided to go over the night before, and we went to the place for the media to park, and another guy was with me, and we parked there in the media and just went to sleep.
Yeah.
And we went to sleep and slept pretty good, and the next morning we were going to, get up and go in the track and everything. So when we woke up the next morning, guess what? The place was just absolutely covered with snow.
With snow. Oh, my country.
And needless to say, we didn't go to the race. And
No.
we had a heck of a time getting home, but
I bet.
that was just crazy to pull in and go to sleep and wake up the next morning. And I believe it was in April. And so that was a pretty late snow for around here.
That does sound, because you were saying
And
the
but I
race and
do
everything.
remember that, and but I can't just tell you pinpoint the year because I went to too many races.
Okay, man.
So I just thought I'd call in and tell you that.
Well,
and,
that's interesting.
have a good day.
Thank
hey,
you, man.
Darrell.
We've had
And
more
I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Hey, babe. Bye.
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, Big D.
Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Enjoying your show.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Big D, calling in there.
We've
Dennis
had more
telling-
snow on Easter than we have on Christmas.
I was going to ask you, Easter falls different times of the year. Of course, it can fall in March, April, early, late, whatever. But, yeah, there's been some Easter snows, and there's been some April. A lot of April
I
snows.
remember having lunch with Joe DePriest, who used to write for the Shelby Daily Star. He writes for the Charlotte Observer now, and we were eating lunch in April and looked outside, and Joe said, "Would you believe it's snowing?" And I said, "It can't be. It's April," but it was.
Yeah.
So, odd weather.
Let's see, we got another caller here. Did you want to make a comment? Uh-oh, lost you. Sorry, call back if you want to make a comment there. There's been some, many times we've been let down. If you were hoping for snow, we've been let down, and it didn't do what they thought it would. But these days, the accuracy of, when they can get on here and say snow likely before 2 p.m., that was unheard of, right, Darrell?
Right,
back in the day.
One of the things we used to do at the sheriff's department and the life-saving crew squad, we used to take nurses back and forth to the hospital, and we stayed busy all the time. Had Gambles and Crowell hospitals at that time, and we just stayed busy taking nurses back and forth. They couldn't get out, but taking them to and from work.
Well, this was my niece, who is a registered nurse and was just beginning her career as a registered nurse a couple of years ago at Gaston Memorial, and it seemed like it would like every Friday night, early Saturday morning, it would start snowing for like 2 or 3 weeks there in a row. And I had 4-wheel drive and still do. She didn't have 4-wheel drive at the time, so me and my brother, her dad, we took her to work it seems like it was like 3 Saturdays in a row or 2 Saturdays in a row anyway. Maybe she drove one of them herself in her little Volkswagen Bug. But yeah, we had a situation there where we had and somebody was asking me the other day, said now we had the 3 Wednesdays back in 1960, and then a couple years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, 2 years ago, we had the 2 or 3 Saturdays there. He said, doesn't it seem like things happen in cycles like that? Now we had the Tuesday, Wednesday snow a couple of weeks ago. Now we're talking about a Tuesday, Wednesday snow this week. They thought that was ironic. Got some folks holding on the line here. Well, that one's gone. Let's see here. Folks, if you'll just hold on, we'll try to put you on the air. Good morning. Do you have a comment for us?
I was saying we had a big snow in either 89 or 98. Date I ain't for sure of, but it's March the 13th on my birthday. They call it a blizzard on the radio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I remember that one, March 13th. Seems like it. Well, where do you live?
Lincoln.
Lincoln. Okay. Well, we appreciate you calling. Anything else? before we go?
How to do it.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate the call there. All right. There, you got a phone call there?
I got Al Conklin on the line here.
Okay. All right. We'll let Darrell talk to Al. And, Sandy, we've got a caller here. Did you have a comment you wanted to make?
Talking to me?
Oh, is that you, LD? Hang on just a minute,
Yeah,
buddy.
I had one more thing I want to say right quick.
Okay.
Friday is Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be a full moon.
Full moon and Valentine's Day.
It'd be a perfect Valentine to take your wife out there and look up that full moon and give her a little sugar.
Okay. All right, buddy.
See?
Thanks, sir. All right, then. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for today, then. You got Al on the line? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
He got a recording. It's 735-8071.
Uh-huh. Lines were probably busy.
He said the line was probably busy.
Was he trying to get through?
Yeah. He's
All right, tell you what we'll do. We'll take a break here. And Al Conklin from Channel 3 is wanting to talk to us. And had you talked to him about the
No,
Collins?
I called him and told him to call. I was going to be on
Okay.
air.
All right. Well, we'll try to get Al on. Does he want to be on the air?
Yeah, you want to be? Will you be on the air? Yeah. Okay, we're going
to try to call him.
Okay, you want to? Okay, we'll call you right back. Okay.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Channel 3 meteorologist Al Conklin wants to talk to us, so we're going to take a break here, and we'll try to get hold of him during the commercial break and come back with that. Stay with us.
So, you know somebody who pays a monthly fee for radio?
He's a foolish fellow.
Yeah, really.
He's odd, I grant you.
Well, thank you for supporting a great American tradition, free radio.
Big O Country, WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL, Cherville Gastonia. Clayton Homes in Shelby presents their Max Your Tax Refund Weekend. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, February 20th, 21st, and 22nd at Clayton Homes in Shelby. Use the money as you choose. It's so easy to do. Just choose the home of your choice and see how much money you can save. Several lot models have been reduced by thousands of dollars. And then use how you choose. Select from a gift card, a price reduction, a rate buy-down, or use it for closing costs. Plus, Clayton Homes in Shelby has several land homes set up and ready to move into, starting at $60,000. Plus, ask about special deals for landowners. Get up to $8,000 max, or 5% of the sale price posted. Hey, that's not all. On Saturday, February 22nd, Big O Country will be broadcasting live from Clayton Homes in Shelby. We'll be there from 10 to 2. Come join us for a free hot dog, chips, and soft drinks. Plus, register to win some great prizes, including a weekend at Myrtle Beach. What a weekend! February 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Clayton Homes, Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby. Max your tax refund at Clayton Homes in Shelby.
All right, Darrell, you had contacted Al about calling in and talking to us. Darrell, I'll let you introduce Al. We've got him on the telephone here.
Hey, Al, good to hear from you.
Hey, good morning, Darrell. Good morning, everybody. Hope you all doing well.
Yeah, we are. I had contacted Al, told him I was going to be on, and Al and I have been friends for over 20 years, and we stay in touch with each other constantly.
Yeah, Al, we were doing a program this morning since the big snow's in the forecast. We were doing a program this morning on the radio here, letting folks call in with their comments or memories of big snows of the past. We've had a good time reminiscing and recollecting, and what's the latest on Tuesday and Wednesday around here?
Well, everything has slowed down with this system. So, I looked at things over the weekend. It looked as if we were going to have snow tonight and tomorrow. Now it looks like it's really tomorrow night into Wednesday and even into Thursday morning. So I think it's a 1-2 punch. There'll be some tomorrow night, and then Wednesday into Wednesday night could be quite heavy. And if everything worked out the way the models are suggesting today, we could wind up with 6 to 8 inches of snow across Lincoln County, and it wouldn't even surprise me if somebody wound up with a foot, provided that we don't get a lot of sleet or freezing rain, which is always sort of a wild card. If that happens, then that would cut down on the accumulations fairly dramatically. But I still think this is going to be the biggest snow we've had probably 4 or 5 years around here. Even if sleet and snow, or sleet and freezing rain mixed in, late Wednesday night, Thursday.
Well, so this is nothing to joke about or take lightly. It's definitely coming this way.
Yeah, and again, they're always, it's a fluid situation. The storm we're talking about is over the Rockies right now, so lots of little things can happen that can throw off the forecast. And there'll be there'll be some changes along the way, but right now that's what it looks like. If you're asking me at 10:45 here on Monday morning what I think's going to happen, I think we're going to have a big dump of snow, and I think it's mostly coming on Wednesday into Wednesday night and ending early Thursday morning. And what we had 2 weeks ago was just a little, that was a dusting. That was nothing compared to what can happen here going forward. So this is going to be the biggest snow I think we've had in several years around here.
What about the winds and the daytime temperatures along with this snow?
Well, I think the temperatures will struggle to get out of the 30s the next couple of days after today. Now, as far as today goes, we're in the low to mid 40s, and we'll probably stay there all day, and maybe just a little bit of rain, believe it or not, time to time, but nothing all that heavy. We will get down near freezing tonight, even a little bit below that, and then I think struggle to get out of the mid 30s during the day tomorrow, and then tomorrow night below freezing, and probably don't get much above freezing during the day on Wednesday. And Thursday we should rebound to maybe about 40 degrees if we're lucky. But this is going to be a real cold snap coming on. Now we're not talking single digits, we're not talking record breakers, but we are talking about a couple of days near or below freezing. And so I think the roads will be very icy and snow covered both Wednesday and Thursday. So that you just got to plan accordingly. This is the day to get things done. If you have to get out and about, this is the day to do it, because starting tomorrow afternoon, especially tomorrow night, and all day off and on Wednesday throughout the day, there's that threat of snow.
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
Al, the snow. Hey, this is Sandy. The snow. I always love to watch it fall, but the thing it frightens me, really does, is that ice.
Well, and we're going to probably see some of that. Now, hopefully it's not too much. Lincolnton's probably not, unless things change dramatically, Lincolnton will be on the edge of that. But down closer to Charlotte, especially south and east of I-85, I think ice is going to be a much, much greater issue on top of the snow. So I think the roads will be just a mess.
My goodness.
Okay.
Well, Darrell, did you want to say anything to Al before we?
No, not really. We'd think we'd covered everything.
Well,
but anyway, it's always good to hear from Al. We want to get together with Doug Mays and do several more programs.
Yeah. Thank you, Al, for calling. I know you've been very busy today.
Yes, Al.
It's been crazy. It's going to be that way all week, but you keep it here and you keep it on WBTV, and we'll definitely keep you updated as best we see it.
Thank you so much.
Take care up there and just wait on the snow.
So much. So very appreciate you calling in.
Yes, Al. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Okay.
Bye now.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
All right. There you go. Well, that's a good one to wrap up on, Darrell. That's a good one.
Thanks,
you got it right there from meteorologist Al Conklin at Channel 3.
He is my favorite meteorologist, and I just don't say that.
Well,
he's been my favorite for years since we've been friends since 1993, and we have Al and his wife Tracy's visited in our home, and a wife Judy and I, and Al and his wife and kids are all good friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a good one.
He's so personable. You just feel like
he is.
It's
he is. And
folks, I tell you what, you heard it right there.
He's a great historian too.
Yeah, he's really
and we
expecting
thank you for doing that too. Thank you.
A major winter storm then.
So we better do what he says. Do what we can do.
He said today's the day to get your stuff done.
That's right. Yeah.
Milk and bread.
Milk and bread. That's me. I'm on the road.
Get some peanut butter, please, to put on that bread.
Yeah, because if the fast food places can't get open, I'm starving.
And please look after the little animals.
Yeah.
Look after your neighbor, the elderly. Just do what we as human beings and good people should do. Mm-hmm. Let's look after each other.
That's right. You gotta get everything prepared the best you can. And Darrell, thanks so much for coming in. We kind of winged it today. Didn't know exactly what we would talk about other than snow.
We winged it good.
We've never been at a loss for words.
No, we've always been able to find something to talk about.
Milton's a talker.
Well, Darrell's the historian there. We didn't even get into. You talked a little bit about one of the. In the 1700s, but we didn't get into some of the weather, the Weather Channel, what is it? They have the program, how weather affected history or something.
Right.
I mean, we could probably get into that another
that's
time.
A whole nother show.
Yeah, I didn't get to tell how my dad said he walked across the South Fork River.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, walking on the river and
That's
like
another segment.
Back in the 30s, he walked all across the South Fork River.
I think it did. Over donuts
I think it did get colder in years past. I think it did. I think it snowed more. The snow was deeper or something. I don't know.
And we were talking earlier too, also about when you're young, things are bigger and better, and hamburgers were so much better and hot dogs. When I was younger than they are today, and
it was a treat to go out and get.
It rained harder, the snow, and of course our houses weren't insulated, and it being colder. And I remember my mother saying that she was in her bed and she could see through the roof of the house and see the stars.
Mercy.
So 20 degrees would have been zero to us,
Very much. Well, thank you, folks. Appreciate everybody that called in.
Yes, everybody.
Sandy, Darrell, good show. We appreciate Darrell coming in on short notice. Talked to Darrell last night about 9 o'clock and asked him to come up, and here he is. Appreciate that. Tommy Richardson, who gave us his input on it as well, and weather permitting, I guess we'll see what does. Al says it's going to be more Wednesday and Thursday now, it looks like, but weather permitting, I'll be here in the morning and
thanks to Mr.
talking to Tommy
too.
again. Mm-hmm.
And our guest,
our surprise call from Al there, and we appreciate Al Conklin, busy man right now.
Yeah, our pending guest tomorrow and Wednesday, we just we'll reschedule.
We'll see.
We'll just have to see.
Maybe tomorrow won't be quite as bad as the next day. Yeah. All right, who is tomorrow?
I'm
you've
sorry,
already
closed
your
the book. Sandy.
The 11th.
Okay.
February 11th.
I'm sorry. Jenny will be here from the Greater Shelby Community Theater.
Okay, Jenny.
Weather permitting.
Okay. All right, weather permitting. We'll have a show tomorrow. Thank you, folks. We'll see you later on.
Bye, everybody.
For the perfect Valentine arrangement, your special one will love the beautiful roses and flower arrangements from Fingers Florist on Dave Warlick Drive in Lincoln. Fingers Florist is the name people in love have trusted to make that special Valentine gift for many years. For roses, corsages, or special Valentine bouquets, remember to call Fingers Florist, 704-735-9092. Fingers Florist is open Monday through Saturday and on Sunday by appointment. For flowers for all occasions, call Fingers Florist, Dave Warlick Drive, Lincoln, 704-735-9092.